Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Ayers, and this is my presentation based on my interview with an advocacy leader. For this project, I interviewed Jamie Heckerman. She is the current CEO and president of Special Olympics Arizona. Our conversation focused on her experience as an advocate, as well as the role that Special Olympics Arizona is playing in the sphere of disability advocacy. Within the organization, Jamie described her role to be focused on oversight and ensuring that goals are being achieved and are aligned with the mission and values of the organization. Additionally, she is the point of contact with the organization's board of directors. She assists with the budgets, the financials, and fundraising, and provides general support when needed. Throughout our discussion, Jamie shared a lot of information with me based on statistics of various perspectives. Additionally, she is the CEO of a nonprofit. Jamie is very reasonable in understanding their limits and focuses on being able to draw external support through fundraising and volunteers. Finally, within her role, she's essentially the spokesperson for the organization. This video is from the Move the Needle podcast, and I used it to demonstrate Jamie's ability to share key messages effectively. Jamie and I spent quite a bit of time talking about the role of data and how SOAZ makes decisions. And I've highlighted this quote because I think it summarizes our conversation pretty well. Jamie says data drives the course and where we go next. In other words, they're utilizing data to make their next moves and deciding what they want to focus on regarding advocacy. For example, utilizing data about how physicians spend less time with individuals with intellectual disabilities versus people without help drive their focus towards educating healthcare providers and how to effectively give individuals with disabilities adequate healthcare. Additionally, SOAZ focuses largely on athlete testimony in the form of qualitative data to ensure the effectiveness of the work that they're doing and include them on their board of directors and with the Athlete Leadership Council. Some of the learning experiences provided by SOAZ includes their Healthy Athletes program. Here, they provide opportunities on two fronts. First, bringing preventative healthcare to athletes at competitions. And on the front of working with doctors, like I mentioned before, Lead the Field is a program in partnership with the med school program at the University of Arizona, in which students are able to interact and practice providing medical care for individuals with intellectual disability. And those SOAZ participants are able to share feedback and their prior experiences to provide medical students a greater understanding of how to work with this demographic. SOAZ also has a focus on unified sports in which participants with and without intellectual disabilities participate on the same team. These programs vary based on location. For example, some schools will do a unified PE class, some will do unified clubs in which they may put on dances or inclusion campaigns like Spread the Word to End the Word, and some are leagues for participants on a community or at a school level. For example, this photo is from 2018 when the ASU Tempe had an intramural unified volleyball program. When assessing programs and evaluating learner outcomes, SOAZ focuses on both quantitative and qualitative data, like I mentioned before, specifically participation rates in their events and programs, and then using athlete data to back that up. When applicable, SOAZ will provide pre and post program surveys for events, and volunteer engagement and financial support help provide a framework to really gauge the impact. After my conversation with Jamie, she was actually able to connect me with SOAZ's volunteer coordinator. Together, we discussed opportunities to increase volunteer engagement and to create opportunities for sustained engagement through unified sports programming. That's really where I got my start in working with Special Olympics and advocating for individuals with disabilities. And I think it's a great foundation to increase community inclusion and advocacy. Jamie's personal advocacy on increasing universal design and equitable healthcare for individuals with disabilities really stems from her own experiences as a wheelchair user, which she shared with me. As the CEO of SOAZ, Jamie spends a lot of time also communicating with others about inclusion, and she really leverages professional connections to help engage communities within the mission of Special Olympics Arizona. Jamie's advocacy style is humanizing towards the demographic that she's serving, focused on helping solve the problems that they're experiencing and providing opportunities for inclusion through listening to them. For example, Jamie shared that SOAZ is one of the only Healthy Athletes programs that has a focus on sexual and reproductive health as an education program. And this came about because of the use of data and feedback from participants. And I thought that was really interesting and helped me kind of frame how she uses advocacy in her work. These are the references that I used for this presentation. If a photo doesn't have a citation, it's because it was my own. Thank you.